What's up, guys? Rick here with your Jock Market preview for this week's Safeway Open. If you're new to these, Jock Market is taking over my brain. It is stock market DFS that you can also play with real cash, which is what we did last week at the Tour Championship. More on that in a second, but it's something that is just a lot of fun. The stakes can be as small or kind of as high as you want them to be. There's free rolls, there's like $2 buy-ins, or the cash market like we participated in last week. There really is no limit there, so it's a lot of fun. I've been hearing a lot of great feedback from a lot of you. A lot of comments. I mean, my buddy Adam texted me and said, I've got like $60 in my Jock Market account and I've just been playing the freebies. And I'm like, dude, Adam, you're killing it. This is great. I've gotten a lot of similar messages along the way. So I want to keep it rolling this week. I'll review some of my maybe bad strategy for last week's cash market at the Tour Championship, and then we will look forward to the Safeway Open. Let's jump into the app. All right, so here is the Jock Market app and my results for the cash market last week. So if you missed that video for the Tour Championship, you were able to buy stocks of golfers and shares of golfers with real dollars instead of the chips within the game, which is super crazy, super awesome. I lost money. I believe I'm the only person who did because I saw all the screenshots from everybody and all the messages, but we'll talk through that strategy in a second. This week is going to be just the free roll, I believe, and then I think we're going back to cash markets for the US Open, and I know they're gearing up for football, cash markets for football. Listen, I'm not even a big football guy. But that seems kind of too good to pass up, so I'm certainly going to be dabbling there. Here are my holdings from last week at the Tour Championship, and what really kind of killed me is the 11 shares of Billy Horschel that I had, and I got to be honest with you, IPO, I think I got flustered in IPO. I was getting outbid all over the place. I was trying to get back in. Remember, I wanted to get DJ and Xander. That's what I came on this video and talked about last week. Those are the guys that I had put bids in on the video, on the episode, and I got outbid, and I kind of got into a bidding war, and I lost the bidding war. It would have been really nice to have Xander and DJ shares. Otherwise, I went for Billy Horschel. I went for a couple other guys you'll see in a second. And the Billy Horschel thing, like, I think this is where my strategy in-game kind of gets exposed a little bit, and I might have a little bit of a blind spot where, like, Billy Horschel from basically, you know, Friday morning, round one Friday morning he was like in dead last. And I was like, well, I'm not going to sell him low. You know, it's a 4-cut event or a 4-round event, no cut. Maybe he figures this out over a couple days and moves up. Now he didn't. So he ends up finishing in last place and costing me, you know, what, $4 on 11 shares, $44. So that wasn't great. I don't know if I could have, quote, played it any better, right? I mean, I feel like at any point in the tournament, it would have been selling low. Maybe I could have got out better than I did for $1, but that was probably a mistake on my part. I lost a little bit on Hideki, kind of got smoked by Daniel Berger. His final round wasn't very good. And then I also feel like I struggle with FOMO here, which is like, once I buy these guys, I'm like, oh, I want to hold them to the end and see what happens, when I should probably be selling some of these guys. Like Berger was winning me a good chunk, I believe, after 2 rounds or after 3 rounds, and I probably could have just gotten rid of him, but it's that FOMO. It's that attachment to these golfers that I feel like I have to get through. Mackenzie Hughes did make a great push at the end, so the investment on Mackenzie Hughes, 5 shares, ended up working out well, and then 5 shares of Sebastian Munoz. Munoz was one of the biggest movers of the week, so for I make $23 over the course of 5 shares. Happy with that result. So a couple of mistakes that I think cost me. Having it be the first time I've ever played in the cash market, I certainly learned a lot, and I'm looking forward to deploying it again in the future. Yeah, here's your NFL cash market. So I know you're not here for NFL takes, but like, I'm just kind of curious on how this is going to work. So bidding opens on the 12th. What are the valuations here? Oh, wow. Okay. So they're paying out So the top 70, it looks, or maybe they pared it down to the top 70 players. Oh, that's maybe what they did. Yeah, okay, so they pared it down to 70. That's smart, but man, you could really, especially in football, you could really get some volatility. Like, if you get one of these wide receivers to catch a couple of touchdowns, you're probably going to move up pretty significantly. Okay, that's a different video, but I am super interested in that. That's going to be something I want to keep an eye on. But for this week's Safeway Open, so $250 free roll is what Jock Market has going on right now. So right now there's 137 out of 500 players. Let's hop into this and see what's going on here. So now this is got to reset my brain a little bit because we are going back to the chips version of this, right? So 250 chips in play. We want to create a portfolio that is better than everyone else's portfolio. And the interesting part about the Safeway Open is there's like 80 guys that can win this. You know, sometimes we come in here and there's only 5 or 6 guys that can realistically win the golf tournament. Like, everyone is in play for this week's Safeway. So I think there's a lot of value to be had. Do I see that right? Will Gordon already up to 694? Doc, my buddy Doc, already up to 704. Let's see if I can sort this by price here. Here we go. Jordan Spieth, the highest priced golfer at the moment. I am certainly not going to be participating in that. Phil Mickelson, surprised not to see him higher. Brendan Steele, surprised not to see him higher. He's only 354. Let's go get a little bit of Brendan Steele. He's the guy who obviously has the great course history, played well at the end of last season. I'm not usually one of these kind of course history buffs who's got to get it at any chance, but I think this is a pretty good spot for it. So he's currently at 351, and IPO is going to end in a couple hours. So let's try 425. Let's see how many shares I can get for Brendan Steele at 425. That places his fair value finishing position at, what was it, 42nd, I think it said, 40th or 42nd. So I certainly think he can do that. Let's try to get a little bit more. Let's try to get 15 shares of Brendan Steele, and we will submit this order. Also going to see what else we have here. HV3 is interesting. Man, Cam Davis is interesting. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw in some bids on, let's just do this while I'm here before I forget. Sometimes I say on the video, oh, I'm going to go bid on this later, and then I get so excited to post this video and I forget to go back and do it. So, let's try, if I could get like Steele, Cam Davis, Brendan, or HV3 at like 425 a pop, I think I'd be thrilled about that. So let's do 13 shares of HV3. I want to get a little bit of Cam Davis. I think he's got a lot of raw ability. And then I want to scroll down. I want to look at guys like Wesley Bryant. I want to look at like Chris Baker, guys that are going to be probably what, $1.25, $1.25, something like that, and see if I can actually. So let me just do Cam Davis while I'm here. We'll do 12 shares of that. That'll leave me with 70 chips to play with. If I can really get into some of these really low, cheap guys that I think are going to work their way up. I mean, Reeves too. Oh man, I might have to. There's so many guys. I might just have a bunch of everybody. Let's go all the way down here. Chappell's down here. Grillo, Patrick Rogers. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. Oh my gosh. I mean, these guys are $1. They're one chip. They're the min. All right, so here's what I'm doing. I'm going to take Chris Baker. I'm going to bid on Chris Baker at $1.25 or $1.22. That's fine. If I can let's get 20 shares of him. This is the type of move that if Chris Baker finds a top 15, finds a top 10, flies me up the leaderboard here. So all good there. Also, I'm on my new phone, which Jock Market, this is not Jock Market's fault. Jock Market's way faster on my new phone. My old phone was garbage. Oh, this is so much nicer. This is great. Not that I ever had any issues with it, but my new phone is flying. Let's do Patrick Rogers. I like Rogers a lot. So I'm going to do 125 of Pat Rogers for 14 shares. And then, I mean, it's going to leave me. I mean, this is so reasonable. I still have 37 chips left. So what I'm going to do with my remaining chips is try to just go get some of those guys down at the bottom and see how many shares I can get of those guys, because IPO is closing soon. And I think that in this wide open format, anybody can fly up the leaderboard. So lots of cool stuff coming for the PGA, or I'm sorry, for the US Open next week. NFL is here. Jock Market is going to be one of my most used apps. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. Tweet me at RickRunGood or leave a comment below. Talk to you soon. Later.